Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to do another recipe in the Instant Pot. We're going to do corned beef and cabbage. And of course we're going to have some potatoes and carrots and parsnips and some onions in there as well. But depending upon when you're watching this, St. Patrick's Day was last week, and we didn't have corned beef and cabbage this year. And I have been craving it. It's one of my favorite meals. Wade likes it, but not as much as I do. But I grew up having it a couple times a year. So, what do we need? We're going to go over these quickly. This is actually such a quick recipe and so easy. Okay, so the first thing we need is a corned beef brisket, okay? For a 6-quart, like I have, you want to use, a 3 to 4 pound, 4 pounds maximum. Mine is 3.87, so that's just on the mark of where I want it. I happen to get this at Aldi's, and somebody said to me Aldi's corned beef is really good. I don't know exactly. I'm sure Aldi's doesn't make it, but anyway, this is what's called a flat cut. Okay, so it's a flat beef brisket. For anybody that doesn't know, beef, it's beef, and it's usually square. Also, they have a cut that's called a tri-cut. I think for most corned beef and cabbage, people always use what's called a flat cut. All right, now, a couple important things. Now, I'm going to take this out and rinse this off, but there's a seasoning packet in there. Hopefully, I think I feel it, and that. So, actually, let me say. In case anybody doesn't know what corned beef is it's a brined beef, a roast. How exactly they brine it, I don't know, but it tastes delicious. All right, so like I said, I'm going to open this, I'm going to rinse this off, I'm going to pat dry it, and I'm going to put aside the seasoning packet. All right, now you can use water, you can use stock. I'm going to use some beer. Of course, we didn't have any Guinness, so we're going to use non-Guinness, but a true Irish person would use, Irish American would use Guinness, but I didn't have any. And I'm going to use some vegetable stock. You could use beef stock. I'm going to use vegetable stock only because I have a open jar in the refrigerator, or open box of it in the refrigerator that I wanted to use. All right, so then traditionally you have cabbage, so I've got a small head of cabbage here. I've got some parsnips. I've got carrots, and I've just peeled the carrots. And I kind of, if it all comes out nice, I'll be able to display it nice. So I like to do a longer carrot and parsnip than cutting them small. But so you're going to probably want about 4 to 5 large carrots and 3 to 4 parsnips. All right, we've got some red potatoes that I've rinsed, taken a package, and I'm just going to cut those in half. The Instant Pot will do its wonder with those. And then we're going to need a yellow onion. Now, the thing is, for the vegetables, we're not going to need those till we have cooked the meat. But we are going to use our onion in our first cooking of the meat. So you just want to cut and peel it. And we're just going to roughly quarter that. Nothing hard about that at all. And we can even third it, because it is kind of a big onion. All right, I'm going to put that aside for now. All right, I will be back once I've got this rinsed, and we'll go on to the next process. See you in a bit. Okay, I've rinsed off my beef brisket, and I've patted it dry. Now, there's a fat cap on one side of the meat. You can see it's not on the other side. All right. Now, you don't have to remove this fat cap. I do see people, I've had it where people don't remove it, but I like to remove it. I want to make sure everything, gets, all of our spices get penetrated into our, all the way down. So I'm going to cut off quite a bit of this fat. And you just need a good sharp knife, and it will come off quite easy. Sometimes you might get a brisket that might kind of seem like it's, you know, there's a cut here, or it's almost like it's in two pieces. Don't worry about that at all. I'm going to bring it pretty close down to the flesh. Oop. Sharp knife. Be careful. Always cut away from yourself. Turn it this way, and we got a little bit over here. Keep in mind that, so I'm going to say that this will serve 4 quite nicely. As with most roasts, of course, some of the weight of our roast is here in the fat, and there will be a considerable amount of shrinking. So a 4-pound roast, close to it, you're going to end up with about 1.5 pounds, maybe a little bit more of your finished roast. So along with our vegetables and all those, that will make a nice meal for at least 4. All right, I'm going to finish trimming this up. You've watched me long enough, and we'll be back and get it in the pot. Okay, guys, as you can see, I've trimmed off quite a bit of that fat. I'm going to leave a little bit on because we need some for flavor. One other thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to turn it over. All right, so a lot of times we hear when you're cutting a roast or something, you should cut against the grain. So I don't know if you can pick it up in the camera, but the grain on this piece is running this way, right? So when I cut this, I'm going to cut it this way so that we'll get nice slices. Now, if you can't figure that out, don't worry about it. If you cut it with the grain, it's still going to be delicious. The only difference is that it's going to be more like pulled pork than an actual piece of meat. But just watch the grain and then slice against it. Okay. So we got our Instapot. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned. I don't think I did, but we're going to need a couple dry bay leaves too, or fresh. All right. So let's get our roast in there. This happens to fit in there well. You could cut it if it doesn't. Don't sweat it. And I'm going to so we want enough liquid just to about cover it. We can leave the top a little exposed. So that was a 12 ounce, right? I don't know, are those 12 ounces? That was 12 ounces, yeah. And I'm gonna add some broth, or you could add water. And we just want to submerge it, just barely. That looks perfect. Okay, we'll throw our onions in around the side. That's going to give us nice flavor. We can fit one over here. That's good. All right, so then this is the flavor pack that came with it, the brining. So we're gonna just sprinkle this over the top. And then we're gonna put a couple bay leaves right on top of it. At least a couple will do. 3. All right, now, of course, You always want to follow the manufacturer's operating, all right? It seems pretty consistent with the 3 to 4 pound roast that it's a 90-minute pressure cook time. I always have a hard time with this. All right. Open, close. You have the little music. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're on steaming. I don't know if you can see that, but again, yours might be a little bit different. Now on my model, it's, some say pressure, some say high pressure. Mine doesn't say pressure. It says, you use the meat and stew. That's the setting that we want. So we're gonna push meat and stew, and we're gonna go up to 1 hour and 30 minutes, or 90 minutes. $60. 90, right? That's 90 minutes.
It's 90 to me.
Alrighty. And then we're going to let it go. So now what it's going to do is, it actually takes more than 90 minutes, guys. So because it's going to take probably about 10 minutes for it to build up the pressure in the pot. And then it'll be 90 minutes. And I think in all machines, it starts to count down. Now, once that's gone through its cook cycle, we're going to let it sit on low for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then we're going to do a quick release. That'll let the steam out. Then we're going to take it out and we're going to put our vegetables in. We're going to take this out and let it rest. Then our vegetables will go in for 5. Let me see how we fill it up with the vegetables, and we'll decide how long to cook. But generally for root vegetables like that, depending on how many in your pot, it's anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And then, believe it or not, you're ready to eat. All right, so we'll see you in 90 minutes. A little bit before that, but. Okay, our hour and 30 minutes is up. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. You can see that we have, we're in the keep warm stage of this. I like to keep it for about 5 minutes. A lot of other people I've seen on other YouTubes or other recipe, they automatically do the quick release. Every time I've cooked meat in the Instant Pot, I always find that 5 minutes at the on the low just enhance it. But that's just my take on it. Of course, you could do the quick release right now if you want. I'm just going to get the rest of our veggies ready. So I've cut all my potatoes. I've had them soaking in some water. We got like we said earlier, we got some carrots, some not turnips. I can't think of the name of them.
Me either.
Oh wow, the mind is the first to go. I'll think of it. Everybody out there, comment, send us what they are. No. All right, so I'm just going to quarter those. I took off any brown yucky pieces on the top. I did leave the core in. It helps keep your leaves together a little bit better. All right, we're just at about 4. The other fun thing I find strange about making this recipe in the Instant Pot is, when you think of it, we've added no salt or pepper whatsoever. Of course, there was a little bit of salt in the brining, and there may have been some pepper in, there's definitely some peppercorns in the little packet that they give, but there's, now we're going to cook our veggies in the broth that's there, and there's really not that much salt and pepper. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do a quick release. There we go. And that's probably going to take, I don't remember how long it took us last time, but, oh, it smells good. Sometimes at the Instapot, you don't get a lot of, you don't get the aroma of cooking with just a roasting pan, or if you use a slow cooker. But as soon as you open that, it's like, ooh, now I remember how good that is. Of course, we'll know that it has released properly once the hissing sound stops and our little indicator there will pop down. Carrots. Not turnip. Not rutabaga. Parsnips. How awful. I don't know if I love parsnips. It kind of smells like a carrot, but tastes like a turnip, to me. But I absolutely love that. We don't need it all that often. What is parsnips? You can use parsnips almost in place with any place that you use carrots as a side dish or something like that as well. So what we're going to do is once this depressurizes, we're going to take our meat out, let it start to rest, and then we're going to get our veggies in there. And I like to do the vegetables for 5 minutes. We're going to see how much liquid we've got in there. I've even gone, although I do like my corned beef and cabbage veggies to be a little on the slightly overdone side. Sounding like it's coming down. So far it's taken, we flipped it to the steam at 4 minutes. It wasn't exactly at 4, I'm sure, but now it's, 4, so 7 now. So it's taken 3 minutes at least. Oh, it smells so good. It's getting there. Oh, Lois Wade keeps thinking, all right, it's going to be any second now. Yep. Of course, I think it locks. It would not let us open it until the steam is fully dispersed. We're not going to try it, but I'm pretty sure it does lock. It does have a locking mechanism on it. There we go. It's ready to be opened. All right. I burned myself the other time we used this. Oh, I thought I was too hot. So that lid is very hot. For anybody out there that's just got a Instant Pot and have not used it yet. Right, I'm gonna put that over there. Oh, look at that. That looks beautiful. I'm going to take our bay leaves off now because we don't need them. They won't get lost. You'll see when I take this out, hopefully it doesn't fall apart on me, that it has shrunk considerably. We're going to take that and put this in our bowl. Oh, it is so beautifully tender. So that is shrunk by what, at least a third, do you think?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to put some tin foil over it to keep it warm. And we're going to set that aside. By the time we get the rest of our vegetables done. Let's see. Water. I was concerned about how much water was in that. I think we're going to need more. Now there is a line on your crock pot to make sure that you never fill it PC pressure cooker max. So you should never fill your water above that line. Of course, it depends upon what size you have, what size of crock pot and the crock pot manufacturer. But everyone has a place that you should not do any additional water in there. All right, so I'm gonna wait. We'll see once we get our veggies in there. I'm gonna put our carrots in.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. You say potato, I say carrot. You can just kind of throw them all in there. I like to display it on the plate with them individually, but it never quite works out if I try to keep them separated. But get over here. All right. And we'll get and be careful, that water, of course, is very, very hot. In our parsnips. I am going to add a little bit more stock to it because I like the root vegetables to be totally submerged. You don't have to do this, they will, but since I've got it and I'm going to use it, so I like those to be totally submerged. And then get our cabbage in there. Cabbage doesn't have to be submerged. Of course, that's a quick cooking vegetable anyway, but I do like it to be in the water a bit. All right, get our cover. All right, and now, like I said, a lot of other recipes I've seen, even the recipe that's in the book, this says 3 minutes. I like it at 5. So I'm going to do it for 5. So we're going to go back to, well, first we're going to clear and off. All right, we're going to go back to our meat stew. Which is my high on this machine, high pressure. If you have one that just says pressure, push that button and then put, it'll say high, low, high, normal, so on. All right, so we're back on meat stew. We got 5 minutes, and I'm gonna let the pot do its thing. All right, we'll see you in 5 or 6 minutes. Well, no, remember, it's gonna come back to pressure. Then it's going to count down the 5 minutes. But don't worry about your meat. It's settling nicely in there, and it'll be delicious when we cut it up and eat it. See you later. I don't know. I'm so silly today for. All right, guys. While we're waiting for our veggies to cook, we're going to cut our corned beef. I'm just going to move it to a cutting board. We're going to put our veggies in here and our beef here. So we've got our grain is going this way, right? So what do you think is the best way to cut it? I think like this. Yep. You agree?
You're the cook.
It's Wade's fault if it doesn't cut neat. And of course it is. Look at that beautiful color in there. So tender. Again, if we did it this way, you'd still have a delicious meat, but it would be more like a pulled pork than nice slices. See, like that. I got too aggressive. But nothing wrong with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is, after I get it all cut up, I'm just going to transfer it back to that plate and cover it with aluminum foil and wait for our veggies. And then it will be time to eat. See you then. Okay, our veggies are done. I've done the quick release. They should be done. They should. Ooh, that looks awesome. Just the way I like the cabbage. A little bit mushy. Now again, if you like it a little firmer, then cook it for maybe 3 minutes. I did 5. It's nicely done, but yet it's still firm enough that I can pick it up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all our veggies out, or our carrots are perfect. I'm going to put these are cut meat. I'll put a nice piece of cabbage on there. Just for looks. All right, so that's all done. Our vegetables look perfect to me. I'm gonna plate them up and then we're gonna eat. Okay, we're ready to eat. So we've got our corned beef, cabbage, our red potatoes, we've got carrots, and we've got parsnips, and of course you need a nice what is this called? Whole grain mustard. Wade won't have any of this, but I like a little dab to have my meat in. All right, dig in.
Ooh, I'm gonna try the corned beef first.
Ooh. Potatoes.
That is good.
Nice, beautiful, tender, tasty. That's good.
That is good.
I don't, because I don't make corned beef that much, just because it usually takes a long process. In an instant pot.
Yeah.
Not long ago. Definitely, we're gonna do like upcoming video. I want to do a full, Texas brisket dinner. We'll definitely do that sometime in the future.
Well, cabbage kind of melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
I see why you like it soft.
Of course, that's the way my mom cooked it. So. The parsnips are delicious.
Very good.
All right, well, I'm going to just keep eating.
Please remember to like and subscribe to this video, and check out cherryhillhomecooking.com. See you on the next one.
Ciao.
Bye. Everything's really good.
I love it.